Y'all love to keep me in Tubi hell, since no one really watched the white people movies I upload, so here's another trifling film. At the start of the story, Blair becomes distracted during a phone call, giving a group of strangers the chance to kidnap her nephew, Chase. She chases after Chase, but they're too quick. 5 years later, Blair's husband, Jackson Miller, runs into a Hawaiian lady named Jasmine in their new neighborhood. Jasmine got that hourglass figure. As charming as she is, Jasmine tries to flirt with him as a friendly welcome gesture.
Of course, trifling.
However, Jackson quickly makes it clear that he has been happily married for over 10 years and that his wife wouldn't appreciate the trifling behavior. Surprised to learn he's married, Jasmine remarks that his wife must be very lucky. Jackson, however, corrects her with a smile, saying he's the lucky one. After exchanging pleasantries, they go their separate ways. When Jackson returns to their new apartment, he finds Blair waiting for him. She casually asks about the attractive woman he was speaking to earlier, having spotted them through the door. Teasingly, she asks if he thinks the woman is cute, but the devoted Jackson smiles and assures her that his eyes are only for her. Blair admires their new home, expressing her gratitude to Jackson for giving her a fresh start after what happened 5 years ago. She then mentions that her sister, Angel, will be visiting the next day. Jackson isn't thrilled by the news as he had been hoping for some uninterrupted bumping and grinding time with his wife. Blair explains that Angel's visit is necessary because she needs some papers signed and suggests Jackson could still enjoy spending time with them before he resumes work on Monday. Left with little choice, Jackson agrees, then heads out to the store to pick up a few things. Shortly after, Blair gets a call from her mother. Excited, she shares how well she's been settling into her new place with Jackson. The conversation then takes a slight turn when Blair asks if her mom has considered moving from Miami to Detroit. Her mother gently declines, explaining that since she has no grandchildren to look after, she prefers to remain in Miami. Damn, really gagged Blair with that one. Later that evening, Jackson and Blair enjoy some quality time watching a Tubi movie. Blair is impressed by how good the film is, and Jackson agrees. Blair says Tubi movies are hard to predict, and I'm over here like, really? When Jackson wonders if Blair wants to make their own bedroom movie, she says she's tired and reminds him that they need to prepare for Angel's visit the next day. The next evening, Angel arrives for her visit. She asks Blair how she's been, and Blair replies that she's doing well, though she admits she's nervous because Jackson will be starting work with the Detroit Police Department on Monday. Knowing how dangerous that career can be, Angel says that's exactly why she wants to help Blair get her insurance sorted out. When Blair tries to bring up Chase, Angel's son, Angel quickly brushes it aside, instead thanking Blair for standing by her during such a difficult time. Soon, Jackson joins them. Angel compliments their new home, calling it beautiful and saying they scored big. Angel says she'll allow them to enjoy their last night together before Jackson starts work, so she takes her leave. Later that night, a nervous Blair urges Jackson to be careful once he starts work. Jackson reassures her that he'll be fine, then asks how Angel is doing. With a hint of regret, Blair admits she avoided bringing up Chase, still carrying the weight of guilt over what happened. Jackson tells her not to be too hard on herself and encourages her to attend her next session with her therapist, Dr. Lee. Wanting to lighten the mood, Jackson playfully suggests they get intimate, and the two begin locking lips right then and there. The next morning, we get a shot of a shirtless Jackson.
He is fine.
As Jackson gets ready for his first day on the job, Blair has already packed lunch for him. Still, she can't hide her nervousness. Jackson tries to reassure her, saying that if anything ever goes wrong, she has access to all their documents. But Blair doesn't appreciate hearing that, reminding him that words carry weight. Soon after, Angel calls Blair to confirm Jackson made it to work and to say her papers are ready. Meanwhile, Jackson meets his partner, Officer Landon, who asks about his goals. Jackson says he wants to become a detective. When Landon learns he has no kids, he offers to break Jackson's wife's back in case he's shooting blanks, but Jackson politely declines. Meanwhile, Blair begins her Zoom therapy session with Dr. Lee. Everything goes well until thoughts of Chase resurface, and she blames herself for his loss. Dr. Lee gently encourages her to keep moving forward. Elsewhere, during an operation with Officer Landon, Jackson is shot dead. After the session, Blair receives an email confirming her insurance papers have been processed, thanks to Angel. Moments later, she gets the devastating news of Jackson's death, proving her fears about the job had been right all along. Something smells fishy, and it could be someone's kitty. A few days after Jackson's burial, Blair jolts awake from a dream about him still being alive. The painful realization that it was only a dream and that he's truly gone hits her harder than his D, and she breaks down in tears. Around that time, Angel leaves her a voicemail after Blair repeatedly ignores her calls. In it, Angel says she just wants to make sure Blair is okay, especially after losing her husband, and suggests she see Dr. Lee again. Blair doesn't return the call or respond to the message. That night, Blair still can't get over Jackson. She hallucinates, imagining him lying beside her, only to snap back each time to the painful truth that the dead can't return. In the middle of the night, a man named Vito sneaks into her home, searching for a money box, believing no one is inside. Blair hears the creak of a door but dismisses it, thinking it's just another hallucination. Vito returns downstairs to his crew empty-handed. When one of them, Deuce, asks what happened, Vito explains that he found Blair inside sleeping. The crew had been told by JP that the house would be empty, but that turned out to be wrong. Upon hearing this, Luck decides to back out, insisting that Blair might be armed. He argues that it's not worth risking jail time or a possible murder charge if things turn bloody. In response, Vito pulls out his own gun, showing he's ready if anything goes south. He reminds Luck that there's $8 million on the line and that they can't pull it off without him. Reluctantly, Luck gives in. Since Blair is the only person in the house, they convince themselves they can handle her and still get the money. To speed things up, the fourth man suggests they split up and search different parts of the house for the cash. Meanwhile, upstairs, Blair wakes to take her pills. When she sets her cup down, the sound echoes through the quiet space, alerting the crew that she's awake. Still pushing his idea, the fourth man starts up the stairs but slips, creating a loud thud. The noise makes Blair instantly aware that someone has broken into her home. Frustrated by his big back blunder, Vito tells him to stay outside as a lookout. He then quickly assigns tasks to the others, ordering Deuce to check downstairs, Luck to search the office, and declaring that he'll deal with Blair himself. While searching the house, Luck stumbles upon a portrait of Jackson in his police uniform, confirming his worst fear. They've broken into a cop's home. The realization makes him nervous, knowing this job could land them in prison. Meanwhile, Blair quietly tiptoes toward the front door, hoping to slip out unnoticed. But she runs straight into Vito. He lunges at her, chasing her down the hallway until she narrowly ducks into a room and locks the door behind her. Spotting her phone on a nearby table, Vito snatches it up. Returning to the door, he pounds on it, demanding she open up. Blair shouts back that she's calling the police, but Vito laughs and informs her that her phone is in his hand. She's not calling anyone. Realizing she's cut off from the outside world, a terrified Blair pleads for them to just take $300 and the Twinkie in her purse and leave. But Vito scoffs at the offer, claiming that he's not here for cheap change. While rifling through the house, Vito is approached by Luck, who urgently tells him he's discovered something serious. Blair's husband is a cop. Unbeknownst to them, Jackson is already dead. Luck begins to panic, insisting they call the whole thing off before they end up in prison. Overhearing their conversation from behind the locked door, Blair seizes the moment to try and scare them away. She loudly claims her husband is a police officer and will be home any minute. But Vito isn't rattled. He doubles down, insisting he's not leaving without the $8 million. But Blair says they've been broke and don't have that kind of money. Luck warns that if anything goes wrong, the fourth man Vito brought along will ruin everything. This only angers Vito, who snaps that he doesn't need Luck at all. But Luck fires back with a cold reminder. Without him, they can't even access the safe where the money is kept. Moments later, Deuce returns with bad news. The safe box isn't where JP claimed it would be. Furious, Vito storms upstairs, kicks the door open, and drags Blair downstairs. He shoves her into a chair, demanding to know where the money is. Trembling, Blair insists there is no money and that she has no idea what they're talking about. In the middle of the standoff, Blair's phone begins to ring. She quickly says it's probably her husband calling. Deuce picks it up, but instead of answering, he notices a funeral flyer nearby, a farewell notice revealing that Jackson is dead. They all laugh at her, but each one got a face only a dog owner can love. Realizing no one is coming to save her, the intruders grow bolder. Vito orders Deuce to tie Blair to a chair, while he and Luck search the house for the $8 million. Blair tries to talk her way out, but Deuce refuses to listen. As he leans in to restrain her, she suddenly kicks him in the groin and bolts to the kitchen. Confident he can overpower her, Deuce follows, only for Blair to grab a knife and fatally stab him. Then the dead man takes a post-mortem Deuce. She then rushes back to her room to pick up a gun. When Luck discovers Deuce's body, he urges Vito to abandon the job before things spiral further, but Vito insists on killing Blair and finding the money. Moments later, Angel arrives. The men hide as Blair slips out to let her in. Just as they head toward the room, Vito fires at Angel, only for Luck to deflect the gun at the last second, saving her life. Luck decides to back out, but Vito points a gun at him, demanding they finish the job. As they argue, Blair and Angel slip from the room and shoot at Vito. Startled, Luck grabs Vito's drop gun and hides. Gaining confidence, Blair warns him to leave before ending up like his crew. Suddenly, Luck lunges from behind, seizes Angel, and presses the gun to her head, forcing Blair to drop her weapon. Luck then captures her. When Blair regains consciousness, she's stunned to discover the robbery was orchestrated by her own sister Angel. Was anyone here shocked? Because we've been known. Confused and hurt, she asks why she's being treated this way. Blair insists there's no money in the house, but Angel coldly explains she plans to collect the insurance payout after having Lucky kill her. She reveals that Lucky is Chase's father and blames Blair for losing her son, claiming she would have never lost custody if Blair had returned him after she got clean from drugs. Or this bloated pustule of a woman should have taken care of her child from day one. Back when Angel was still battling drug addiction, Nancy Reeves from Child Protective Services visited to conduct a welfare check. Still deep in her addiction, Angel refused to let her evaluate Chase. As a result, the court placed Chase in Blair and Jackson's care while Angel continued her rehab. In the present, Angel is convinced that Chase never returned to her because Blair turned him against her. Blair pleads for her life, warning that Angel won't get away with murder, but Angel has already planned every step. The only difference is Jackson had died earlier than sooner. To eliminate witnesses, she kills Lucky first, and your girl Blair gives another performance of a lifetime. Proving that she is too good for Tubi, tears streaming down her face, Blair offers Angel all the money she has, but Angel, long resentful of Blair being treated as the golden child by their parents, refuses to listen and kills her. Days later, Detectives McQueen and Thomas question Angel, but she leaves no evidence, playing her part flawlessly. Her fake acting apparently fools the terrible detectives just fine. 3 months later, she collects the insurance payout and meets Landon to retrieve Chase. Turns out Chase was never really kidnapped. It was part of her scheme all along.
Child.
After securing Chase, she kills Landon to tie up loose ends. What Angel doesn't know is that Jasmine and the fourth man, Vito, who had posted as a lookout, have already uncovered her plan, and Angel's about to face a reckoning she never saw coming. And that's the end of the movie. I'm not sure if there's a second one, but I'm also sure that I wouldn't want to see it, because Angel can go rot in hell for her stupid elaborate scheme. What did you guys think of this one?
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We got lots more of foolishness on this channel that'll have you hollering. And if you like to watch more, just click here or here.